Alright, folks, welcome back, everyone. 皆さん、おかえりなさい。今日は188日目です。This is day 188. Let's get right into our routine here. One grammar point. Too bad. アメリカには大きいハンバーガーがある。ですね。Seems that there are. ありそうですね。
アメリカには大きいハンバーガーがありそうですね。
Okay. That's it. That's our one grammar point. All right, let's get into our main routine vocabulary. This is私の父は電車のdriver. No, it can't be the driver, right? 運転手だ maybe 運転手だ so un is carry. My hand will warm up, it's fine. We'll just go with it. Right. I kind of want to accept the fact that my hand is going to be very rusty. I don't warm up before the stream set. So and then 10 is to like revolve. That doesn't seem right. No, wait, that's okay. It's a bit smaller. We'll normalize as we go. So, and then 10 shoe. So shoe is a special. Well, it's not really that special. Onyomi. So this is like carry, revolving hand or person doing something, and unten is to drive. So it's kind of like transmitting or transporting. You're transporting and carrying, so driving and the person. Shu is a common way of expressing someone doing something, so you can combine them.
私の父は電車の運転手だ。
Okay, next one. Oh no. So go is in it for sure. Se is probably in it for like verification. Oof. This one's tough. I am pretty confident about the two. So number, bango self. Oh no, wait. Just affirmative. So affirmative is to make bright. Or is it bright? This is dim. So we have sun, stand, and sun again. That's un. So un is to check. So right, this is to check. So check the dim nature, like to brighten, to affirm the identification. Basically identification. Oh, this is show, not sen. Se or show sen. Unshow, and then bango for number, because we're looking for pin number. think this is bun. And go. Ooh, my proportions are really all over the place. So unsure. Having trouble with ba. Unsure is how you verify something.
あなたは ATM の暗証番号を覚えていますか？
覚えていますか? Alcohol. Oh, this is the one that I mentioned yesterday. Instead of saying drink beer, you can say drink alcohol instead as a customary, and usually it's an honorific. So we're gonna do osake, and sake is water and a bottle. Okay. Oh, I was wrong. Immediately, I regret everything. Because it's katakana. So what is katakana? So the 50-50 is katakana, which aru, we might as well write. Aru arukoru. Right? Arukoru. Arukoru, I think.
アルコールを飲む。
Arukoru. Yeah, arukoru o nomu. 50-50 happens without verifying which one they're gonna go for. Actually, I wonder, can I not say? Oh, because of the distance between arukoru and osake, they don't, vocabulary doesn't have the nuance of grammar where they would explain like, oh, okay, well, you can still, unless they're very close or close enough, at least from my experience. Back to front. I think that's around, so skirt. Scato. Okay. What is that? Ma. Machikai. Machikaete. Scato. Scato. Back and front. I don't think it's back and front. Referring to the period of time preceding and following an event. Really? Back and front. Back to front. I don't know if they use like behind and forward. Or is it more around? So right now I'm willing to use like sengo. Yeah, sengo. So mae plus ato. So zengo. In front of kyaku. Or actually it's detached from kyaku. Kyaku. Yaku. Against? Yaku ni haite shimu. 会いました。逆 How that works. Against. Wait. What is... Go to what? What is that? Against? Is it against? Okay. Interesting. We'll leave that at that. So this says back to front, right? And it's like around or approximate or about the area. So everywhere from back to front. I'm not sure left to right is a thing too, which is like around. So if we were to take this literally, the phrase would then be Zen. And then go. One way to remember that I typically use for Zen and go is go Zen, go, or like morning and afternoon, right? Go being the modifier for Zen and go. Different go.
間違えてスカートを前後逆に履いてしまいました。
前後逆に履いてしまいました。Alright. First car. I think this might use sen this time. Oh, what was yesterday's thing? Yesterday's thing was they used first car. Yesterday they used the counter, and the counter was not dai, was not gi. Heck. What was the counter? I mean, we're not using the counter here. I was trying to remember what the counter was. It's a disappointment. I might need to look back what it was. It's in our bookmarks. Let's go look now. Keep ourselves vigilant. Counter. Oh, Dio, man, that just does not come to mind at all. Dio is the counter for vehicle they used. I believe this one also deals with Ichiban something, Ichiban Sen or something like that. That's what I recall anyway. Maybe it's Ichiban Sha. So Ichiban Sha would be something like 1, right? Ichi, and then we have Ban already. And it could be Sha. Right? That's my thought at the moment. It can be sen, like first line. Let's try this. Let's try a specific counter. Think room and train numbers. Oh, interesting. So they ended up using goal? Oh no. Kidding. Think of room number? So it's not cha. And it's not goal. Goal. So then wait, do they really like huh. I don't know. I don't know what they're referring to. Wait, let's try a specific counter. Think room number and train number. Let me write this thought right now down again. So now we have think try a specific counter. I think that makes me even more unlikely to know what that means. Oh, it could be 10. Heck. Hmm. 10 isn't 10 could refer to a number. Huh. So I imagine can't go down. Maybe it's dual. Maybe we just type in dual, right? Like yesterday. I think the whole thing is chalked. Like, I don't think I can do this. Yeah. So maybe like well, it's certainly not that. Oh. Oh, okay. So they went with ichi. So we take the bango. I see. So they wanted a different counter. I was saying first car as in like ichiban, like the first thing, but it's more you're adding ichi to go, the counter go, and then simply adding the car. So actually, that is definitely that is definitely the way to go. Why didn't I think of that? I don't think. Ichigo. Okay. Ichigo. Yeah.
1号車に乗る。
Okay. Fair enough. I didn't think about it properly. So they went with using a counter counter the number in the car. All right, and that's probably how room numbers work too. I wonder what the shortened room would be. Yeah? I actually have no idea. I'll have to come back to it. あなたは野菜がうるさい。嫌いですか？嫌い would be the woman. I can't unsee leaf blower or Mona Lisa. I think it's no. It might actually be horns. Then this. Nope. I think it's no. That's brother. Okay, I don't remember how to write the Mona Lisa. Oh no, I do. Horn, brush, and go through like this. Nope. Horn, brush, double slash. So like down this way. Might be. And kirai would be 8, and desk copula.
あなたは野菜が嫌いですか？
I missed a stroke. Try again. So we have this, then it's horns across, then you do the brush, double stroke down, and then the 2. It's a monster. Great, it's fine. Alright. Don't know. Don't know bait. What is bait again? Ena? Ina? Esa. その餌を使えばよくcatch and then normalizer ことができるかな？かな？catch. It's 使える。Am I doing that catch? I feel like I'm doing that catch. Like fingers, flag, mole. Edu. It's not ska. Guided? Or is it suited? Because we're doing fish? It could be fish for tsuru. Oh, no. Tsukamaru. That is to be caught. Oh, no. That's for caught. For catch. To be caught. We're not looking for it to be caught. It could be to fish because we have fish here. So it could be tsuru. Tsuru is metal, which makes more sense. So metal. What is that? Is it a hook? Ladle. For fishing, the fishing catch.
どの餌を使えばよく釣ることができるかな？
Dang it. I added an extra stroke. Okay. I'm gonna say this is correct. Maybe it might not be double. Oh no, it's not correct. Oh no, wait. Oh, I think I'm looking at grip. Looking at grip. This is more like grasping. Oh, yeah. That's not Edu. I'm thinking of grip. Right. Not ska. Ska looks like this. This is Niki from the other day as well. So this is and then Maeru to capture, I think. Or catch. Catch. Caught. This is catch. Tsukamaru. Caught. But fish, the context of fish is tsuru. Ski. Oh, sorry. あなたはスキーをしたことがあるの？
あなたはスキーをしたことがあるの？
Actions? So, like Saki? Or Saki? No, wait. How do you do action? I can think of the character. It's the act character, I think. Okay. Some on Creek. We have 身体的 No. 具体 Oh wait, that's not. I'm missing a stroke up there. That's tool. 具体的にどのような actions. That's definitely a noun. をする or an adjective. Or not. That's a noun. をするべきかな？べき。Oh, べく。Oh, and then, oh, interesting. I don't know how that works. It does deal with the should part. Actions. That's gonna be rough. That's a tough one. The way in which a person or any acts or behave usually refers to positive and negative acts. Maybe their lifestyle is what they're looking for. Like, say, seikatsu. Or is it kaku? Oh, it could be like usually refers to negative aspects of their behavior. It could be like seikaku. So what concrete actions? The way in which a person entitled acts. So we're describing the person's behavior, right? So their behavior, their action. And it can deal with nature, like the nature of the character themselves. So like my thought was we can use this say. And then kaku of this. Right. So we can say seikaku. The other one that I was thinking of was like lifestyle, which is a different say. This say. Seikatsu. So the tongue. Like this. Seikatsu. Let's see. Heck. Alright. Well, there's Shizen. No, that's kind of like wait, was it Anna? You should refer to negative aspects of behavior. Can't think of. We could think of it as like literal actions. Literal actions are like using ko, and then like kodo, for example. How do I do do? It's kodo. That's like literal actions, behavior. Okay. Oh wait, sorry. It's not kodo. Kodo.
具体的にどのような行動をするべきかな？
Okay, so we're not really talking about someone's like behavioral characteristics, like the life of their. There is a chance these could have been used, so I'm kind of going through them. The one that I default, these are the ones that I default to whenever I'm thinking about trying to describe someone's behavior, though. And then this is what I would describe as the literal action, which is specifically referring to the action itself, not necessarily referring to the person's behavior or like the nature of the person's behavior. Okay. Which makes sense. Okay. I think this might. There's another word for activity. I don't remember what the activity is. It's not this one. Let's look at activity. There is oh yeah. So activity is at the intersection of katsu and do. So there's also katsudo. That's another option, right? These are all related. Katsudo. There's also zen, nature. So kaku intersects with zen, which is like a nature thing. And both these se are related to each other. Se, like dealing with the life aspect. And then katsu is life. And then life deals with animation. So animation creates behavior and motion. So all of these characters are kind of bundled together. The idea of life, movement, aspect, they're all part of the behavior of a living thing, which is usually the person. So I don't know what they would say with katsudo. That's more like activity. Let's find out what they would say. Like, just too far away. Wait, did I spell it properly? All right. Diary is, I'm gonna say we take like day, maybe ni, and then ki. So ni ki, something like that.
日記を書く
Nikki o kaku. Right. Diary is day plus recording. So a diary you record on a daily basis. お客さんが来る前に部屋をきれいに be cleaned up, like tidy, with a nake,なければならない, right? なければならない, so must. And it ends. I don't think nake really gives away what it is. And it's not a sudo, so we're not doing sudo. So it's probably then the weird one. Tsukeru. It's probably the tsukeru one. Kata tsukeru. No. Kata tsukeru. This is a weird one. I think, how do I interpret this? Like, you arrange things. So, kata tends to have like one-sidedness or shifting things to a side. So if you're tidying up, you're shifting things or arranging things. And tsukeru is to attach them to things. So if you're reorganizing, I guess that's how I'm thinking about it. When you're reorganizing something, you're taking objects and then you're attaching them in different orders. So that's kind of where I'm getting that. And how do you write kata? Kata is, oh no, I don't know which one you start. I think you start here and then you do this. So kata, right? This is the one-sided, lopsided arrangement related thing. And tsukeru is multi-purpose. I think it's this one. And it deals with attachment. So kata tsukeru, we can't use like clean up in a way of like The alternative that I was thinking of was the sentak suru. I think. Taku. Right. So sentak suru is. Oh no, wait, not sentak suru. Oh yeah, sentak suru. Different sentak suru. So sentaku is a homonym. Sentak could be selection, and then there's sentak for washing or laundry. Oh no, I'm actually not thinking about laundry. I'm thinking about soji. Soji suru. Soji suru is sweep. Right, you're doing sweep. Oh no, I don't know what the bottom is. I think this is the towel thing. Oh no, yeah, like something like this. And soji. This one is weird. Something like this. Is it an altar? I have to look at Solji. Oh, I think it's hills. That's a crown. Yeah. Pretty sure. Let's go look for a moment. So it's not an altar. It has a tail on it. Oh, it's slightly off. Oh no. I guess I did it by happenstance. Okay. Obviously it's not Soji Suru, because so that would not check out. At least I don't think. Katatsuke. No. Oh no. Be clean up. Oh no. Oh wait. No. I didn't type the whole thing. What? Oh no. Maybe it's. Oh no, wait. Sudo doesn't work. We can't. They usually don't take sudos. It's not. Katatsukeru? Be cleaned up before the guests arrive. The action of organization or putting things in their proper order. Oh, it could be arrange. Like, arrange would be. There are multiple arranges though. So there's an arrangement to decide or determine something. That's kimeru. We're not doing kimeru. There's also promise in arrangement. So yakusoku. But that will require suru. There's soeru. Soroeru, which is to collect. I don't think that's right either. Because that's like collecting something and making like a collection. There's naraberu, to line things up. That's not good enough. I actually have no idea. What else could it be? Yeah, I'm out of. There's I really thought it was this. All right, well, let's find out. Oh, there's drama. Oh, wait. Oh, is it Zukeru? Oh, I misspelled. It's a misspelling. I forgot about the Rendaku. Wait, how do you even type that? Is it DU?
お客さんが来る前に家をきれいに片付けなければならない。
I missed the rendaku on this. Oh there, drama. How's it going? What's up? Alright. Hold on. With the Mayo? No, Maigo. Special read, Maigo. Maigo になるといい cat fight マル cat or worried, I guess, or trapped in the state. Okay, yeah. So 困るので私の手 hold and 私の手にしっかりOh, niche. Okay. Hold. I'm guessing it's just hold. Right. Hype for Relink DLC Aeon 2 global release? Yeah, I did see the Aeon 2 thing. Already moving on, huh? It's hand or fingers. Fingers. Relink DLC. We're gonna use literal hold, so it's gonna be finger. Right. So Motsu. Let's see if it stays alive in OS. Well, at least the first couple months, the honeymoon period, right? No? Okay. I think we're going back to grip, right? Let's use Nikiri. Does that work? Nikiri. How about oh, sorry. I typed too many things there. Okay. So it ended up overlapping with some of our other related things about catching and holding. They promised just a singular 15E subscription instead of a 3x they had in Korea and Taiwan. Oh, okay. Who runs which one are we talking about? Who runs Aeon now? I understand E equals euro. I've never seen it used with like a lowercase e, but alright. Oh, NCSoft? Oh, interesting. NCSoft runs that. Intriguing. Yeah, that's news to me, using lowercase e for euro. Let's see. I assumed it was a currency. Thanks for clarifying. NCSoft. It's been a while, NCSoft. Is Lineage still running? What an interesting time for NCSoft. Oh no, wait. Aeon, I think Aeon is a is a subgroup of NCSoft. Yeah. Or unless they ended up changing up the team. I don't think so. No, they didn't change up the team. So, yeah. Never mind. You and your friend gonna grind Aeon too? That sounds lovely, having someone to grind with you. Yeah, it's Team Aeon. So, NCSoft has multiple teams. So, at first I was thinking, I wonder if they're the same team. But Team Lineage, they're all separated. So Team Lineage and like Guild Wars, right? Team Guild Wars, they're separated and segregated in a way, organized like Sega and Perfect World and stuff, where they have sub teams. Interesting. So it's been some time since the original Aeon. Intriguing. We'll see if they can bring back the days of Terra Online. The last time I was like talking about Aeon was in the context of Terra Online, the other thing that was happening at the time. And then like things like Dragon Nest, Terra Online, Blade and Soul didn't came out yet. Alright. Oh no. Okay. So, President, we need, it's either Soul or Toll. So, we're gonna go with Soul, right? Oh no, Toll to unite. It's unite. So we use a big guy Toll. Toll is Silk. Toll. The difference between Toll and Soul. And then Ryo. Ryo is or no region. Or order. There's Lineage, Classic, Lineage, Remastered, probably missed one. Yeah, Lineage. And it turns out the Lineage team is not the Team A team, but Lineage was, I feel, where I brought up Lineage because that's where I think that's when NCSoft really was able to pave way for like Guild Wars and whatnot. NCSoft as a publisher. Is that character's assigned thing? Was it rule or territory? No, it was territory, right? Territory. So we got the big, right? Big guy. Usually a big can be tied with rank. And in this case, this is die. About a 50-50 in my brain, whether it's die or tie on this read. And then this is Toll or unite. And then this is region. Is Ryo.
その国の大統領は誰ですか?
Okay. Alright. We add on our lesson point. Ooh. Getting a bit slower today. Just thought about Vindictus, but that was Nexon. Yeah, Nexon. Yeah. During that time, after that was my post Atlantica online time, which eventually ended up becoming a Nexon property as well. Then I started playing like Terra Online, Dragon Nest, Aeon, stuff like that too. And Vindictus I didn't get into. I just watched things on it. Lukewarm. is new. New, but Nurui. 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 What does Nurui look like? I think it's the warm. Hello there, coffers. So we use the warm, but it's the other warm. This warm. Water warm. And the read is Nuru. Okay.
シャワーがぬるい。
Let's see. 教科書を cover to cover? The heck? まで読む。Cover to cover. I think that's more like completely, right? What are they looking for? The intersection of two or more inside edge or surface forming an angle? Oh no. Terra and Arcade got shut down? Yeah, Terra and Arcade got shut down. Terra, I talked about Terra Online as one. Terra Online is a excellent case study for how when a company decides to allow pandering to one side, like the hardcore community, time fans, it can suffocate. It can suffocate the growth so much that it can suffocate the growth so much that it can destroy any opportunity to grow. You thought these games were fine with their small communities? I did not think so. It was there, in my opinion, more. If I had to wager one of the driving factors, it was the small communities that destroyed the games. They were unable to grow, and every time the developers attempted to create quality of life changes that would recruit players, the community was so heavily toxic and gatekeeping that the game got shut down because of it, at least in my opinion, one of the biggest drivers for those. I'm not sure about Arcade. I didn't play Arcade long enough. Terra Online though, for sure. I think it was one of the biggest contributing factors. I talk about the Terra Online thing is because Neverwinter Online is still going, right? And the developers, despite making like particular compromises and mix changes, as in they always try to meet in the middle, and that means that neither satisfies the small loyal community, and then it doesn't really satisfy the casual community. Even when you're doing that as a mix attempt, it keeps the game going. I think MMORPGs do not polarizing MMORPGs destroy the nature of maintaining it as a live service game. Arcade had like regular reset servers to level playing field. That can also destroy things, so might have alienated their hardcore fans then. And the hardcore, exactly. So that is exactly what I would think would happen if they do regular resets to servers to level playing field. Then the hardcore players will do their own thing, and the game would then get shut down in that way. So that's kind of one of the touchy subjects about live service games. Like, we're talking about Terra Online and Arcade, like Arcade related type of live service games, not the Aeon 2s. You're saying there's a subscription, it's going to be a subscription based game. Those can sustain a different manner. But generally speaking, that's what happened to Neverwinter, by the way. The Russian server was a thing, and then there was like very particular segregation in Neverwinter until the community became so small that it became consolidated into one. Still exists now, and I would say 90% of 80 to 90% of Neverwinter Online players are considered the hardcore players, and not necessarily hardcore in the sense of difficulty, but hardcore as in sense of loyalty. It's the vertical progression focused games problem. Yep. It's not a problem. It's a legacy. So if you're a loyalist and you're a hardcore player, vertical progression is typically the standard behavior and demand of legacy players. And then a horizontal focused game investment is for casual friendly and growth of the game. So, for example, when you release gacha games, they are largely horizontal progression, not vertical progression. That creates spreading and constant influx at the release, idle time, influx, idle time, influx, idle time. So horizontal progression will tend to not have consistent play time. It's usually like whenever the horizontal investment presents itself. In vertical progression, it's expected that you consistently play something, and that vertical progression is how you stay on top of things. So it's not necessarily a problem. It comes with the territory, in my opinion. And if it's undesirable, which is what I typically say when someone says something has a problem, it's undesirable. So if you don't want to constantly have to upkeep FOMO and all that, where your skills and your gear and stuff constantly gets replaced and get phased out and deal with power creep, then you're not hardcore enough. That's where that in my terminology, what a hardcore player means. It's their game. It's the one game that takes up most of their lives. It's the thing that they play to upkeep so that they can constantly be better than the other person. And vertical progression can be the gap can be so large in terms of Terra Online that any new player that wants to join Terra Online would immediately be ostracized by the intense vertical progression that exists. So like you start here, vertical progression could be way far out of reach. So for myself, I typically stray away from vertical progression myself because I'm not hardcore gamer anymore, aka not hardcore gamer. So I do like live service games that focuses on horizontal progression, which is why I enjoy P5X quite a lot. Also why LO start law the Lost Ark. Yeah, Lost Ark is kind of dying in the West. Yeah, Lost Ark is a great example. Lost Ark is Korean MMOs, especially. I think Lost Ark is Korean, right? That's really tough. It's so tough to start. Even though they help with boost and power passes, yeah. The Western version of Lost Ark, PoE 2. PoE 2 is horizontal progression. PoE 2 focuses way more on horizontal progression. So does Diablo, right? I know people don't like Blizzard very much because of certain things, but Diablo, the reason why Diablo consistently have like rotating people that come back in, leave, return, leave, return. Diablo. Yeah, Guild Wars 2 is a good example too. So, and then World of Warcraft still does it, even though World of Warcraft is a subscription-based game. World of Warcraft continues to invest in horizontal progression to like balance vertical progression. Otherwise, like, it's really not sustainable. Whenever a new horizontal progression thing comes out, right, it brings players back in. Like, they're like, oh, I can join in for this hot new thing that levels the playing field, and then I might be interested in the vertical progression, right? Like, a game that has vertical progression as its feature, they still have to introduce horizontal progression in order to bring players back. And then if they don't like the vertical progression, they'll leave and then introduce a new horizontal. That's kind of like, and while you have seasons that basically resets gear every 6 months, yeah. So it will make it's a trade-off, right? Anytime there's a reset or a horizontal progression to like level the playing field to bring people back, it's gonna be a trade-off to that upsets legacy players, like the hardcore players. And that's the topic that I talk about pretty much nonstop whenever I play Neverwinter, since Neverwinter is 13 years old now. Like it is officially 13 years old. Someone came in and I was talking to a Finnish person and they said that it was 12 years. I double checked. It is definitely, this is the 13th year of Neverwinter. So I was talking about it during when Neverwinter turned 13. And I was there on the first year. So I was there in the beginning. And now 13 years later, it's crazy to think that I played a game longer than most teenage like first 13 years when they that's crazy. A whole generation now. Are you playing every version of Persona games? I am. Offers. And I'm playing them in a specific order, so I'm not gonna get to P3R until December. It's gonna be December at that time, and then Stranger Than Heaven is going to be January. Then February is P4R comes out. So this month is P3P. Next month is P4G. P4G. October is Inktober, so I'm drawing all of October. Then November is P5R. Then December is P3R. Then Stranger Than Heaven, I'm spending January on Stranger Than Heaven. And then February is P4R. And then my expectation is there might be a remaster of P5R. or P6, right? P6. It's either P5R, P5RR, like R plus, and then P6 maybe. But we have to keep up with our RGG games. So Stranger Than Heaven's in January. I'm gonna play that. And those are all my games like locked in. I would be very surprised if I played enough video games to fit in another video game. And then obviously P5X have on average 2 updates per month. The next update is either in 2 days, waiting for an announcement tomorrow, or it's in another week. A week and 3 days, so another 10 days for the next P5X update. The summer event. Just so happens that P5X announced in addition that deals with what I'm doing right now. Yeah. I don't know what this cover to cover thing is. Inside edges or surface forming an angle. The only thing I can think about is like a crease, like a corner. And corner would be kado. So let's write kado down for. That's kado. Nope. I don't think that stroke goes through. Yeah. Well, I hope you can keep me up to date on how well Aeon 2 goes. You Google Neverwinter, there's the good old should you play Neverwinter in 2026, of course. State of play. And the thumbnail says Neverwinter making a comeback. That is a really hot take. Neverwinter making a comeback. Okay, so it's not Kado. Alright, so cover to cover. Maybe like Sumi.
教科書を隅まで読む
Okay, it's the other corner, Sumi. What was this? Was this a splinter? This was a splinter. No. It's a mantis. Me. Yeah, I look forward to hearing what you think about Aeon. And for the record, maybe you want to try replacing. I was just about to answer your next question that you typed. I usually, if I am planning to play a game, I would play it at launch and fully commit to it. So Aeon 2 is not going to be one of them. Since if you had to tell me about Aeon 2, about starting Aeon 2, and I didn't immediately say I'm going to start Aeon 2, then I will no longer be considering Aeon 2. In terms of Neverwinter, I haven't decided if I'm going to replace Neverwinter or not. One of the slots have to free up. So I would have to drop like PSO2 NGS, Neverwinter, Hearthstone. I have to drop at least PSO2 NGS or Neverwinter to make room. So Neverwinter, there's still like the timing is not there yet. Neverwinter still got to the end of 2026 to see if anything changes. And the next game would be on launch. So it's whatever window after 2026 would be my next live service MMO. And one that can possibly fit in the time frame, possibly, it's probably too close, is Ananta. Ananta would be the potential. You're trying to not buy any new games anymore unless it's co-op and actually play through your backlog, but you'll pick up the P3R expansion for the DLC. I see. Yeah, I'm doing the opposite. I'm not into co-op games. Co-op games, what do the kids call them now? Oh yeah, co-ops. A party slop. Or is it co-op slop? I think it's called party slop. Just games that are constant permutations of variant hybridization and then just slap on co-op. the party slop games. If you have a reason, obviously if you have a friend or a significant other, right, coffers, party slop games are endless. So it's always, you would have to give up your backlog of single player games for that stuff. Your group live off friend slap. Oh yeah, friend slap. Yeah. That's the word they use. A friend slap. Yeah, the friend slap thing. Since we know global is staggered to KR. Oh yeah, that's true. And in Korea, the level cap is 50, while in Taiwan it's still 45. The level cap increase timeframe would be good to start late. You imagine? Interesting. Keep me updated. Yeah, I saw the Mecha Chameleon. Yeah, the slop part is the original slot for that was Witchit. But yeah, you haven't bought anything this Steam sale. I buy one thing minimally every summer sale and winter sale. I was gonna skip this month, but I buy one thing at least one thing every summer and winter sale. So that's why I bought P3R. I could have waited till the winter sale because it would be very late in that cycle. I don't think I would be able to finish P3R's like coverage before Stranger Than Heaven drops. So we purchased it now. I buy at least one thing, usually 1 to 3 things during summer and winter. I rarely ever buy anything outside of those 2 windows. The exceptions are if they are ongoing projects now. That's why Dave the Diver in the Jungle was purchased last month. Outside of that, rarely outside the window. And if you're curious, so what happens about games that are released within those 2 windows? I buy it in the next window. So Stranger Than Heaven's pre-order, for example, already went up. So I will pre-order Stranger Than Heaven in the wintertime before its release. And I will pre-order P3R. The only reason is I'm collecting badges too, coffers. Like I always collect 1 badge per winter and summer sale. That's what I do. So I purchase them during that to get your customary trading cards to create at least a level 1 badge as a honorary tag. Yeah, that's how I keep track. I mean, you buy games way more than I do, Carvers. Like, at least 20 to 30 times more. Someone recently looked at my collection. It's like, holy, that's a lot of games. It's like, well, I only buy 1 or 2 times every year. You have years worth of games you haven't played yet. Now, hear me out, Carvers. Like, you know, we were talking about video games. Drama and I were talking about video games. I've been collecting free games forever. Like, since the whole idea of collecting free games was a thing. So there's like 300 games in the Epic Store, and I did not even use my Epic Store account. There's like 400 GOG games that I didn't ever use GOG at all, and most of them don't overlap with my Steam account that I would probably, they're probably just gonna sit there. It's not like we own them anyways, but yeah, they're there. There's no shortage of game. What type of class or role do you usually play in MMOs again? I play either the healer or the tank. I play the support role first. They're the most in demand in nearly every single game, unless the game is a multi-role game. Like PSO2 NGS is a multi-role game, so everybody is responsible for everything. Now, when it comes to like role classical Trinity, when you think of Trinity games like support, tank, DPS, Trinity games, the classic triangle, I play support. We play healers and tanks all the time. I either do the initiating or the organizing of people. Healers are the organizers most of the time, because if you get dead, it doesn't matter how much damage you take, and if you don't follow the tank, it doesn't matter how much damage you take. How much damage you deal. That's usually my typical role. Either the initiator or the maintainer, the sustainer or the initiator. I moonlight as a DPS for fun when I have yet to play a game where someone says, hey, we have plenty of tanks and healers. We just need people who like to face roll on their keyboard to do big numbers. Can you be that? Then that would happen. I've been playing since RuneScape, right? When it comes to that type of space. And I don't think I've once encountered someone a game where I enter and the first thing they say is, I like defending people and I like healing. Like, the game is filled with people who like to defend and heal people or maintain their, making sure they're not goobering around too much. Yeah, I have yet to encounter a game like that. I think right now, if I would have to say off the top of my head, 16 or 17 MMOs to this date. And obviously, when I say I have Neverwinter, like, I've been playing Neverwinter for over 13 years, I'm not saying that I haven't tried other games and played other games or read about other games. So it would be kind of fun if it was my thing, like if I make it a thing where I test out early impressions of MMOs. It's not my thing right now. I really enjoy playing single player games. So Persona is all of the rest of this year. It was already planned. 2026 was going to be Persona year. Yeah, in most Western MMOs, at least you're waiting hours for tanks. Yeah, people don't like being tanks. And if you're talking about like competitive games, like roles, I still play the support role. Like, I literally go into the support role. Not, oh, because I became a support main because no one wants to play it. That's not the intent. I go in playing that. I don't go in becoming good as a consequence of that. There are quite a lot of players who are excellent at the support role and the tank role because they're flexible players. They like to fill. I actually go into a game to be the leader or the micromanager. That's because I enjoy that. I like to lead the way or see everything. So the healer has to see everything that's going on. Otherwise, you have a potato that rolls around dead on the ground in the corner. And obviously, that also means, yes, Coffers, you beat that potato. And obviously, what can tank and healers not do? I can't face roll efficiently to put out DPS. Like, I don't opportunistically go and see openings and stuff. So those are the things where I would fall short, probably. Every time I have to play DPS, like, I wouldn't know who to pick off. Like, I typically don't even prioritize picking off the weak characters, right? Like, a lot of times DPS focuses on how to maximize your action, and rarely in a game I think about that. I typically just play the most like endurance heavy weird approach and completionist approach to games, not the highest efficiency Occam's razor big bang for your buck speed running tactic, or like high dopamine jerk sprints and whatnot. That's kind of very indicative of the behavior that's, in my opinion, required to like DPSing and whatnot. So not that it's a bad or a good thing, it's more that that's pretty much what I do. When someone says like, what are you gonna play? Whoever takes the most damage and is responsible and it's the single point of failure. that's my role. I like playing roles that are single point of failure. They're either the anchor or the manager. So if there's one of that role, I'm more likely to play that role because of management skills. You have one tank, then I'm probably going to be the tank player. You have one healer, probably going to be one healer. You have 4 DPS, probably not going to be one of the DPS. I'm more likely to be the goalie, like, for like World Cup related things. I'm more likely be the goalie or the center than the the point guard, and it's probably not called the point guard, like the forward and I am really terrible with football terminology. So like, not in the front, not in the back, probably the guy in the center, the single center, or the goalkeeper. That's usually the roles that I typically play. In Marvel Rivals, you just be tired of live service these days and want to spend more time on single players. You have live service games that you can play with others, of course, but other than that, no micromanaging games. Yeah. You could play a friend slop micromanagement games. Just start a Stardew Valley and you'll never have to get a friend slop game again. I'm kidding, obviously. The ultimate. Obviously Stardew is not friend slop. Stardew is the originator of one of the originators of the friends. Oh yeah, you got Minecraft. All right, that's fair. Minecraft will work. Just don't go to Roblox. I'm kidding. I mean, I don't know if your friend group has Roblox players. Bless their hearts. Let's see. このホテルのfee let's see. Shoku. That's bakudai. Shikuhakudai. Bakudai wa per night. Provided with ichi. Okay, so we're looking for a counter, right? Can I just do ippaku?
このホテルの宿泊代は1泊1人当たり1万円だそうだ。
It's already provided here. Haku. Roblox goated game. Do you Roblox drama? I would probably say Roblox goated platform. Yeah, Roblox the goated platform. Especially the goated platform for Friendslop. Yeah, so we already got a spoiler here. This is for night stay specifically. So, paku, right? Because of the ichi paku. Just looks funny. You never played it? Just looks funny? Yeah, it's a platform. Yeah, it's one of those like golden gooses. The golden goose platform. It defines an entire generation. Minecraft defines the generation before that. So, Coffers is... I'm outing Coffers as an older Gen Z. So, that's the Minecraft era. And then Roblox is maybe 5 to 10 years after that. So if you're in your... like, if you're anywhere from 15 to 17 years old, something like that, it'd be Roblox. You played Minecraft Alpha 1.7? Yeah, I was Alpha 1. Or the first release. The release when you get to support Notch, when he was like, well, I'm not sure where this game goes, but if you're gonna go to my random website and pledge some money, here you are. That was when I accessed Minecraft. Like, it was a vanilla, like, HTML basic website, and you clicked and it's like, all right, sure, I'll give you money. And then that account just sat there. That was like, and then I watched other people talk about Minecraft over the years. Remember exactly, you asked your brother to install it on his PC? Oh, dang. Wait, hold up. Drama, were you alive when... Hold up. Oh yeah, you were alive. I'm like, were you alive when I got the Minecraft thing? Yeah. It's not that old. You were a little kiddo though. That's crazy to think. 2009. That's not even that far away. For the Minecraft classic one. Yikes. Alright. Wait, what was... Were you alive when... No, I don't think so. Were you alive when... Yeah, probably not. 2001, I think? Yeah, that's when... What did they used to call themselves? Do they still call themselves, like... What is it, like... Jargex or something like that? I actually haven't ever... remembered... Yeah, Jagex or something. Yeah, when RuneScape first launched. I played when RuneScape first launched. 2001. That's 25 years ago. You were still alive, right, Drama? Were you like 1 year old? Oh goodness. We're starting to be the true unk. We're unking this up. Alright, let's keep going. -2? Oh, dang. Okay. You you were fluid. Okay. Yeah. If I had to go as far back as possible for the aspect of MMOs, I played RuneScape in 2001. That was probably, if we wanted to bend the definition down to the core of MMOs, the first time I've ever played an MMO was 2001 with RuneScape. And you silly goobers were not alive yet. This is Hima. Hima. Right. And what is Hima? Hima is Xia. Xia is eyes. And that weird flag with the stool. Oh no. I don't know the character properly.
あなたは暇ですか?
Oh man, I totally ignored one of the radicals. This radical doesn't have a name though, and it's not I, it's Sun. I don't know what to call this. So. In Hanzi Hero, I call this a duffel bag. It's like a park key with a box and a folding stool. Xia. And then you play Metin 2 on your sister's laptop. You don't know if anyone knows Metin 2? I know of it. I've never played it though. The closest Metin to me was like that same feeling about Metin reminds me of like what Atlantica Online was like. Not the action part, but more, I don't know if people know Atlantica Online despite how prominent it was. And it is also quote unquote an Asian thing, like an Asian MMO at the time. Like one of the draws is the Asian tagline. You spent 1,000 hours in private service? Dang, that's commitment. Like, for example, to World of Warcraft, I think from Vanilla to Burning Crusade, I think I spent something like 7,000 hours or something. And then right now, Neverwinter, for example, from the 13 years, I think it's somewhere around like 19,000 hours. It's easier to measure in days or years. Like when it came to World of Warcraft, like Neverwinter and Atlantica Online, it was more like the in-game timer when you like ask how long played and stuff. They measure it in years as opposed to years time as opposed to using hours anymore. So we were kind of like outside the range of hours. And to be, we have to keep in mind that MMOs, when I was playing them, were MMOs were platforms. So we have to, the grain of salt about Roblox, why I brought up Roblox, was that these games are platforms. Now they're not. So live service games nowadays, like when you play Blue Archive and I forgot what we were playing. The live service games, they're they're no longer platforms. They're live service games. So you don't spend time on the game to communicate. You go off of the game and into a related community to communicate. So when I'm saying like 17,000 hours, it includes all the social time. So like if you're spending time on Discord, or like right now we are talking on Twitch and YouTube right now, you would have to include that time when you're in the game. So if we spent like 30 minutes chatting about our lives while playing a game, that includes in that time. So now time has warped, right? Like, so whenever I share the time that I spent in Neverwinter, that also has to include all the time that I stream now. So when I'm like sitting here yapping up a storm while Neverwinter is going on in the background, that is the natural habit of MMOs. You have to wait for things, you have to see things. You know, back in the day, the idea is you're doing something else and you're waiting for something to happen. So it could be idling for 3 hours waiting for the group to decide what to do next while you're slurping noodles and chatting about your day and how work has been going on with you and your other buddies on like separate rooms, right? That's kind of the idea. So time doesn't have quite the same value. All the playtime in Metin 2 was chilling in map 1 socializing. Exactly. And I kind of miss that. Yeah, doing duels now and then. Exactly. Or even like swapping out and recruiting a few people to test out builds and whatnot. Like plenty of other activities. So that's what Roblox is. To the late Z to the alpha generation. Roblox is a platform. You go there because that's where everyone is. All your friends, all your people, like the people you feel close to, like by like parasocially, that you identify as, you go there just to hang out. And then that's where it's a platform because you can create friend slap games and slap games in general. And you can also make money there at a very unreasonably questionable manner. Everything's there. So it's the friend slap platform. It's the Facebook. It's Facebook of the late Gen Z, Gen Alpha proper generation. You sit there and spend time. Like my generation, a large part of the generation is simply being on Facebook. You're on Facebook, and guess what Facebook did? Facebook made games. One of the biggest Facebook thing that happened prior to like things like Stardew Valley taking its place was Farmville. Farmville predated Candy Crush. You know, prior to the smartphone revolution, the app smartphone revolution. So mobile games, right? On your smartphone, mobile games. Before that, Facebook had Farmville. Like everyone and their mothers, and specifically their mothers, played Farmville. And then the smartphone revolution came out, and then mobile apps became a thing, and Sugar Crush, like, or Candy Crush came about. Then everyone and their mothers have played Candy Crush. Now we're talking about Roblox. So Roblox is one of the platforms. For myself, World of Warcraft was before Facebook. So that's why Neverwinter became that. Neverwinter was like a attempt. Neverwinter was a post World of Warcraft attempt to create another platform like that. And unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know how the narrative goes right now, largely it's negative at the moment. They eventually decided to convert to live service, and then that's where I started covering the aspects and philosophy of live service stuff. It's interesting. Life's had so many turns. I've had my hand in so many buckets over the years. I do not envy people who want to make video games though. I think that's a young people and pioneering, the specialists are the exceptional cases. Like, we're not talking about like Miyazaki, Kojima, Sakaguchi. We're not talking about those are exceptional people. But usually whenever someone says you played a lot of video games, you see the ups and downs and you were in the politics and all the regional things, the last thing you really want to do is get involved in video game design, development, and like publication, largely because it's a young aspect. So anytime when someone tells me like, I want to be a video game designer, you must be very young. Like, it's statistically likely the person's gonna be very young. Otherwise, you're like Kojima, which that era of people no longer exist anymore, right? Like, what I mean is the chances of creating that era of designers and philosophers, like people who philosophize and take creative vision and stuff, it's not a bad or good thing. Times have changed. That type of thing, that's what I enjoy about playing video games. I like to look at behavior, consequences, and whatnot. If there's any time that I would ever want to make a video game, it would be a social experiment. Which, to me, that's how I feel how Kojima made his studio. His studio that he wanted is a social experiment, because he's not making things that would be the target of an audience, or like striving to make a platform of his own or something like that. In Meten 2, you can also go rogue and attack people from your own faction, building negative karma, and it's really negative and you die, you drop your gear. I see. Man. The first time I've ever learned the word gank, that's what I think about, negative karma. I learned ganking is kind of, I've been watching, trying to keep go through a show, Supernatural, and they pick up like old like adage words, and one of the main protagonists say gank unironically, like in random speech. And when I think of gank, that was like legitimately the second time ever of the MMO karma system, like intrinsic karma system, not like karma as in the game has a karma system, but like nowadays or later down the road they introduce karma system and factions. However, before that, when ganking, World of Warcraft, right, and then PKing was the first term that happened, and that was in RuneScape when you PK someone, player killing, right? So cue the later down the road SAO, for example, Sword Art Online, the anime, reintroduce a lot of these terms like PKing, like player killing, right? So that's kind of when I think of negative karma. It's like there wasn't a karma system back then. There was simply word of mouth scummy actions, and then scummy actions have white knights and white organizations. And I'm not talking about like skin color here. We're talking about nobility, the people who would like deliberately try to counter PKing and rogue activity. And obviously the king of this like rogue neutrality karma system would be like, or lack, I think the developer's name is actually CCP or like the abbreviation for their name. I'm talking about the EVE Online developers. I'm pretty sure the name of the developer of EVE Online ends up being CCP. And so we're not referring to the Communist Party here. We're referring to the developers of EVE Online. EVE Online would be the game, the MMO that has a entirely user-defined karma system to this date. So factions, karma, all of that naturally were created emergently from EVE Online. It's the most organic version of countries and cultures and organizations, smuggling and etc. I did play EVE Online, but there's a very long story behind it. We'll save the story for another time. I just happen to know one of the fastest earners on EVE Online at the time. When we're talking about the fastest earners online, it's kind of like your mini trying to get rich type of deal. So by sheer coincidence, in my lifetime, I crossed paths with one of the top earners. I wouldn't be surprised at the moment. I have lost contact with him. I wouldn't be surprised at the moment he's a multi-billionaire right now. Not EVE Online, just EVE Online. I think he's actually, probably without contest, he's the richest person that I've ever crossed paths with. He's a really great guy too. Like, hopefully none of whatever since I've known him, my memory is that he's an incredibly wonderful person. Times do change people, so I don't know. Richer than Elon Musk? Well, Elon Musk is a trillionaire. I was talking about a multi-billionaire. Well, he was a trillionaire. Now he's like from day to day, he could be a trillionaire, he could not be a trillionaire, he could be a trillionaire, you know, depending on SpaceX stock. Right now he's not a trillionaire anymore, so he's 100 billionaire though, you know, multi-100 billionaire. Or I'm gonna say modestly, that really outstanding person that I know, he's probably a multi-billionaire. I lose touch with people who have lots of money. Like, I don't know. It might be because of my personality. I do not have. If someone is really in German, we use the ARDE. Could you explain what the ARDE means? Is it like per capita or million or I see. As a small comment, I have come across very successful people in different fields. However, from my experience, I often don't end up, like, maybe it's a coincidence, it's probably not a coincidence. I consistently fall out of touch. So the US trillion is your billion. Oh, I see. I got you. What you call it? I lose in touch with people who are incredibly ambitious, successful in different ways. Like, it doesn't have to be about money or something. When they become very successful and passionate and driven, there's something about me consistently that I could say something about my personality. I don't typically end up staying in contact or find myself motivated to reach out to successful people that much. Like, I like reading about them. I enjoy hearing about their stories and stuff. However, my connection with them is very task-based. So I came across people when I'm doing a task. However, I often think I behave in a way that I love supporting those people, but I rarely ever engage in that level of ambition. You could call it an imposter syndrome or something. I'm far too not self-deprecating. So I'm not going to say like imposter syndrome. I simply do not have large ambitions, and without being ambitious, it's difficult to stay in contact with ambitious people. They're really wonderful people. They're incredibly driven, passionate. They also have their kinks, and like when I mean kinks, I mean their flaws and all that stuff. Generally speaking, though, I'm not very prominent person when surrounded by successful people. I learn from successful people. Successful people don't learn anything from me. That's the whole point, right? My attachment to people deal with if I have a purpose, if I serve a purpose. And if you ever cross paths with the successful people, they usually don't need you. The idea, or they don't require you or want you, right? Because they're successful. And then for others to be attached to successful people, like if you want to be associated with the successful people, you are the one that wants them, right? You want to be with them. So for myself, I have enough in my life. So I could say I'm successful in certain ways, and therefore successful people tend to be independent of each other. That could be a more positive way to spin this. Otherwise, no, like, what are the chances that I would become a multi-billionaire? Not a chance in the world, because I don't even have an ambition to be a millionaire. That's kind of the idea, and that's what I mean by I don't usually have too many people that I can brag about. So drama, no pressure, drama, no pressure. One day, I want to brag about you. So I say this because this is the most public I've ever been in my life. The last 7 to 10 years, streaming is the most public I've ever been. So if someone becomes successful, I would love to brag about you one day. Maybe you find a USB stick with $1 million worth of crypto. I would probably give it back to the person that lost it. I kid you not. That's probably what I would do. Or if someone argues like, oh, but any shady person can claim it, it's like, I would give it to a person who can make use of that money. Like, what I mean is, I would Willy Wonka it. Oh, which, by the way, that's a funny story. You find it to your mail. Yeah, I would Willy Wonka it. Which, by the way, here's a fun side story about education, by the way, like education-related things. TED, TED, the TED company, TED Talk, all the TED-related things, that guy is stepping down as founder, like TED was actually his name. He's Willy Wonking the whole TED Corporation. Recently, this is tied to John Green and Hank Green. Hank and John recently, like, officially stepped away from Complexly as owners, right? So what they did was they found a nonprofit and found a way to keep it nonprofit and going forward. And then they recently heard about TED Talk, or like the TED itself, the TED Corporation, and everything that deals with its projects. And the owner did one up, and Hank talked about it. He's gonna Willy Wonka the TED. Basically, he said, hey, convince me you want this company by writing a letter. So there's like in the high space, like the high elevated space that I don't live in, all those people are writing him to see who will take over TED. That's probably what I would do. So if I find it in the mail, like billions worth of crypto as personal gift from like Mr. Anonymous, I would Willy Wonka it. Because letting billions of dollars worth of crypto sit there, because I'm not ambitious enough to use and spend that, I would want to Willy Wonka it to someone who can prove to me or like vigorously sway that they would bring great joy to the world, because I can't even imagine what I could do with billions worth. I do most things for free. Like, it's jumping from that to that, it sounds like a nightmare to me. So you buy a yacht, that sounds good. I would give you something for your yacht if you can convince me it brings great joy, and then you're broke. like the recent topical thing. Speaking of Steam, right? Gabe Newell's Gabe's multi-million-dollar yacht that made the news, and then you just end up being broke afterward. Homeless on a yacht. My thing is, and then here's, you've heard this before, like what happens, lots of people get asked these questions, right? What happens when if someone just gave you $1 million today, what are you gonna do? And then you hear the cliche like, oh, I would give half of it to charity and then I put half into savings. I would say that if I were younger, like if I were 20 years younger and I was a far more within myself and thinking about how traditional value systems work and how investment works and how money works traditionally, right? Buying a house would be a regular thing, renting it out, those would be the traditional routes, the routes that mark someone who has not been around for a very long time. For myself now, it's about creating legacy. So buying a house is a retention of value. Renting it out is to cultivate that value, right? And for myself, I've lived a great life, and I hope that I continue to live a great life of sufficiency. And that means that I'm no longer really focused on the idea of like cultivating my future wealth or something like that, or security. I want other people to use whatever I give to make a life for themselves. So what I mean is, if you wanted to buy a house to cultivate a future, convince me that you want to use that house and turn it into something to enable yourself to contribute to society, I would Willy Wonka the wealth to you. That is what I mean by the use of Willy Wonka. The idea is to find a inheritor or multiple inheritors that are convinced of at least noble intent. Obviously, grain of salt, you could be devil's advocate and say, but what if someone just is a sycophant and all the sycophants run to you and try to be vultures, right? Then it is my fault. If I am a poor judge of character, then I would get scammed. That's kind of the way life works. Easy come, easy go is usually what I would say about that. So I'm just as likely to get scammed as someone giving me a blank check. So I'm not losing something that I didn't earn myself. So if I lose it all and then someone scam me out of it, that is part of the risk, because I didn't earn it. So that's kind of my take on things. I really genuinely love to earn things. However, I am no stranger to trying to find the next people. I'm still relatively young. I know other people get angry if they're like 60 and say like, you're only 40, you shouldn't be thinking like that. You should go out and do your thing and try to build new things. Honestly, the greatest joy I have is to see younger people build things. And me, I get the pleasure of bragging about them. So again, no pressure drama. But I would love, in my heart, to brag about you one day. Brag about James. By the way, James is taking his N3. He stopped by yesterday to tell me he's taking his N3. So I can't wait to hear that. And then 2 weeks then he's moving to Japan, or he's going to Japan. I'm not sure if this is the move itself or is this the trip to sort out the move. So James, I hope he came back and he did well as expected because he was already over prepared, right? And then he sorted out and he's heading off to Japan in less than 2 weeks. You, right, Drama, have so many things going on that I'm keeping track of. Coffers is being Coffers. Coffers is doing well, right? Coffers is doing well. And at the end of July, I get to spend some time with another potato that has been cultivating a little bit. Anyways, that's kind of what I want to say. We're gonna probably end here. We'll continue next time. This was a excellent digression. We're trying to keep these to 2 hours. So we had our chance to practice. This is my current routine, Drama, in Bunpro. We're basically analyzing grammar, writing our characters, grouping our characters together, looking at their synonyms, antonyms, talking about their shapes, their reads, while going through vocabulary. And we don't really go like the reviews, we go through like 20 to 25 reviews a day within a 2-hour period, and then we move on so we can make some time for E3P, working up my Atlas legacy stuff. Yesterday I was chatting about conscientiousness when I was playing Persona, because Persona deals with young kiddos, hypothetical kiddos, talking about period pieces. Sign up for N3 opens up on the 13th for you. Oh, interesting. Are you gonna sign up for that? I wasn't sure if you were doing the N3 or you're gonna wait for another opportunity because you want to like shore up something. Are you signing up on the 13th? Yes, why not? That's great. That's a great attitude. Awesome attitude. Yeah, why not? I forgot, did I ask you, was the N3 required for what you want to do or plan in the future? I remember you did mention about potential university life in Japan. So was it higher than that, or you can go in as a learner or something? N2, okay, N2, okay. They got some time. Do you plan on doing your N2s when you already have moved to Japan, or are you planning the N2 as, and that's part of your relocation? Like, is the N2 one of the requirements for your relocation, or do you feel like you're going to it's plus or minus, either or? You might be in Japan already and then maybe leveraging the whole Japan life and Japan adaptation, like cultural adaptation, to maybe promote your N2 assessment. How far off are we talking about? I imagine we're coming within 2 years now for your plans. I'm excited. I'm gonna have a bunch of people to talk about. Churn still, I guess it's summertime. I don't know how Churn's first semester of college went. If you pass the N3, you'll do the N2 and Edu in June 2027. Ah, okay. I look forward to hearing about that. If you fail, you'll probably won't move to Japan for now? Or you mean if you fail for N2 and Edu, you'll just postpone it until you pass N2 and Edu? For now, yeah. Awesome. Yeah, there are quite a lot of peeps that everyone, this year, right? This year, 2026 alone, I think the 10 people that I encountered delay for 6 months. I see. I think the 10 people that stayed and talked, almost all of them are in transition periods of their lives. And when I'm talking about transition periods, they have something that is going to uproot their lifestyle within the next year or two, like within a 5-year period. So I'm actually kind of curious if Koffers is close to his degree yet. I'll ask him later. Technically, it also gives you time to save more money. Save more money to spend on gacha. Or buying, $3,000 RAM kits, right? Or reinvesting, the rest of it into a get rich quick scheme on AI stocks. Spend on higher quality food. That actually sounds amazing. Instead of instant noodle for 4 years, that is, in my opinion, that is a wonderful investment. Like, instead of instant noodles, that's a wonderful way to all on green again. All on green. Yeah. I'm making these jokes because I think that's a important aspect of being young. I think you want to, as much as it's bad, right? Like lots of people demonize the hyper focus on green. The idea is, though, if you're young, it is important that you're aware of this. Where does your green go? Like, that type of thing is very important. You'll start your Discord scam bots. Oh goodness. Which, by the way, now I have a sieve. So there's a scam bot that logs into the Discord. Like, we talked about this, right? And then Ryan brought it up again. I remove a bot, one bot a day. You just don't notice it. But the average day, there will be one new user that joins Discord that is flagged for suspicious activity, and the Discord account would be less than a couple days old, and it would be flagged by Discord. So I remove them. You can't see them unless you're staring at the roster of the Discord, because they no longer post anything. Because they can't, right? Like, we've already gone through this. I've put it on lockdown as suggested by you and Ryan. So we've locked down the Discord. So since they can't post anything, what they do is they lie dormant in the Discord. So I now have a running roster of every member in the Discord. So now I know which ones are the new peeps, and I profile and screen them out, as opposed to them announcing themselves as bots, right? When they come in, it's like, hey guys, check out this suspicious link. Then I ban them. So I wouldn't need to look through now. So now I have an underlying sieve for that. Because over time, if I don't keep up with the upkeep, despite having an opt-in system and using filters for like join date and stuff, idled bots can still collect information, do whatever, and circumvent a lot of those things. So typically when you have like Discord scam bots, they sit idle in large Discords, and it's harder for large Discords, obviously. And for myself, I'm starting a sieve in advance, so then the resource is distributed over time. So it's basically a small input throughout the like maintenance. It's maintaining the practice as opposed to waiting until it becomes a problem. That's generally how I go about things. Maintenance, routine, little at a time, instead of waiting for the problem to become a problem and then address it. Obviously, that type of model involves lots of resources all at once, and I don't have a lot of resources all at once, all on green, right? Like, if I had a lot of resources, maybe I'll have skills developed for it. Like, for example, what would I do with $1 billion? I have no idea. Like legitimately, if someone gave me $1 billion, since I don't work with large volumes, the most rational and logical answer is I would give it to someone who knows how to work with that. It would be irresponsible of me not to develop skills, and like I would have someone in charge of that. Like you can argue, some people can argue, oh well, I'm an adult, I should know how to do that. It's like, well, you're an adult, so you have to still learn how to do that. That's kind of like people winning the lottery. The odds are against them of having the skills to manage that. You trust an expert who handles that expert. That would be the adult thing to do, or the more rational thing to do. And that's kind of how I would do it too. I would hope that there's someone else, and obviously it could benefit me. I could trust someone else to handle the money for me and give me a kickback or something. That's fair too. In order to be able to be accustomed to that. So the Discord thing, start a new routine and stick to it. And we'll iron it out and stuff. The YouTube thing ended up happening, so now it's like within the next 3 or 4 months I'm like doing something in the background, so I'll introduce that on another time. Anyways, that was a great little conversation we had. This is the end of our Bunpro session. I still gotta get through do our Hansa Hero stuff and then get on to playing some P3P. So anyways, if you're gonna watch this later, arigatou gozaimasu. As always, feel free to follow along, pick up Bunpro for yourself. You're always welcome to come on by, talk about how you approach Bunpro, what do you want to do with Bunpro. You know, your thoughts, you're always welcome. Keep each other motivated. So until next time, 皆さんまたね。見てくれてありがとう. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. I'm gonna get up, walk around, stretch a bit, and I'll be back for Hansa Hero. Thank you.